seemed like a minor update.
Minor update. Zack, zack, zack. And roll it back. Let's go.
Just before the new year, the developers of Counter-Strike 2 released what seemed like a minor update. But despite long and rather suspicious silence, strings mentioning a new system for preventing suspicious hits appeared. The issue of cheats and the impunity of bad actors is a hot topic for discussion. And I'm surprised why this discovery didn't create much noise and no one tried to delve into this topic, as it could be one of the first major initiatives from the developers to combat this problem in CS2. Especially considering that in early January we saw the first results of this update and finally witnessed a relatively large wave of VAC bans. Hey everyone, Max at the microphone again, and today I'll try to...
A lot of people getting VAC banned, including... Arsenal player, guy from Arsenal. We talked about it yesterday. I don't remember who, Gabriel or something. I don't know football. But I got VAC banned.
To explain what the new VAC...
I still want to... Do you think he cheated or something, chat? Or was it a false one? Probably false.
Anti-cheat module does, some exclusive info about the cache remake, potential legal issues for Valve, and much more. So let's get started. And while you have time, check out Skins Monkey. Use code GABEN and Monkey, links and my code down below. Firstly, let's understand what happened and how the new module works. On December 18th, in a routine update with minor map and bug fixes, some extremely unusual strings appeared, mentioning 3 new console commands in the client and server DLL, one of which has a full comment from developers. Suspicious hit literally means suspicious shots, and from day one it was clear that this system was necessary to fight cheat features that disable spread or even more severe magic bullet, which teleports the player's camera to a 0 coordinate and allows you to wipe out the entire enemy team without physically leaving the spawn. The first command, suspicious hit odds threshold, has a default value of 0.01, which is the lower threshold to activate this system and works like a multiplier in the formula. The second one, suspicious hit player radius, is the radius within which this system triggers. It defaults to 8, and if the trajectory of a shot matches the ideal shot by less than 8 units, the game uses one of 3 tactics indicated in the third command. Suspicious hit strategy. 0. Current default value does nothing with suspicious shots. 1. Subtracts a bullet from the magazine and doesn't count the hit. 2. Doesn't count the original hit and recalculates it on the server with a randomized spread pattern. Interestingly, the developers decided to use the 0 tactic by default, where nothing happens with suspicious shots. This could indicate that they deliberately added a bait in the game to collect data on dishonest players. And all the bad actors who actively use functions to disable spread before the ban wave simply took the bait from the developers and served themselves up on a silver plate. It's important.
Chat, this is how the cat and mouse game is with cheaters. Anti-cheaters and stuff. Ban waves. You do bans and waves. Why? Because imagine there's 5 different cheat providers and all of a sudden one guy installs a cheat, they play the game, they get banned. Or how does it work? I don't even know. But they do it. But it makes sense if you think about it, bro. They ban in waves because they want to make you think like, oh shit, what exactly did it get banned for? Imagine, this is why. Imagine there's a cheat, an update gets released, a new feature comes to the cheat. All of a sudden, everybody who used that fucking cheat, they update the fucking new version and everybody gets banned. They know exactly what triggered the system and so on. Ban waves, they collect data. Once they have fucking 100k people, they ban them all at the same time. Nobody knows what the exact reason was, what triggered the fucking system.
Important to note that this isn't the first time someone from
I think it's practice in almost all games.
Valve has used such tricks. For example, almost a year ago, in a Dota 2 blog post about taking action against cheaters and banning over 40,000 accounts, the developers talked about a little feature they used. Months before the ban wave, they deliberately added a small vulnerability to the game, betting that bad actors would find it. Any use of this hole literally tagged the account, added it into a database of bad guys and collected as much info as possible. Honest players physically couldn't stumble upon this exploit as its use required constant game memory reading. This way the developers avoided false positive bans and all 40,000 accounts got what they deserved.
Honeypot.
So the ban wave that occurred in early January, which according to CSstats.g accounted for over 8,000 accounts based on a 30 million sample.
Nah, you wasted 3.5k on a Tech 9 with a penis in the back.
Bait exploit from the Counter-Strike developers.
This right here is a much better investment. This right here is a much better investment. Thank you, bro.
To look further, the second tactic
Much
with
smarter.
a value of 1, which simply doesn't count the hit, sounds quite strange, as players would quickly notice the trick. Bullets disappear and enemies don't die, so the system is triggered. Something similar exists in Rainbow Six Siege, where you shoot, seem to hit an enemy, but bullets also aren't counted. However, there, firstly you get a visual warning hit rejected. So the game warns you about this situation. And secondly, this system seems to be activated only when one of the players experiences sudden connection drops. But when this feature was added, people on forums discussed that sometimes it also triggered when using cheats. And the third tactic with a value of 2 sounds the most balanced of all. Players who use the most hardcore features simply won't be able to use them anymore. And ideally they shouldn't interfere with regular players, as their hits will be recalculated on the server. But at the same time, the system triggers, shots are marked suspicious, and information on the account is collected. It's important to note that this solution isn't just a fix for
First time shutter. I just dropped a new CS2 video today. Check out Empire on YouTube to check it out. It's only 12 minutes long. Ain't nobody gonna watch that shit. 12 minutes. Maybe try 5 seconds per TikTok, YouTube short. Got me. Only 12 minutes is crazy, bro. You just said you just advertised a blockbuster.
Specific cheat.
Hell
it's a fix for a particular function in all cheats. And if the Counter-Strike developers continue to cut
Mods, give him a 12-minute timeout. Zack, for the karma.
Of similar functions one by one, the final combination of all their
Let him know what it feels like to watch this video.
solutions could be quite effective. I want to clear up a quite popular misconception in the community that Valve is cooking a new anti-cheat based on artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
If we're talking about VAC.net, it's been around for at least 7 to 8 years. If it's VAC Live, it's just one of the anti-cheat modules that triggers in real time if one of the players gets one or more reports and stops the game if the user is banned during the match. Counter-Strike developers are far from being dumb, and I suspect they're quietly collecting information about all the bad players, sacrificing the short-term experience of a large part of the community. Because in the long run, the one with more data wins, especially in the case of new.
Is it the ultimate plan? Is it the ultimate game plan? The first months of CS2 are completely fucked. Everybody knows how bad the cheating issue is. They don't really care about it. And while this is happening, it is because it's a new game. They have an AI anti-cheat and they're collecting data. With AI, data is key. Bro, that would be the most boss move ever. Imagine, bro. Could be.
Neural networks that need constant retraining. FM Pwn finally released a remake of his map called Santorini. I chatted with him on Twitter and learned a lot of details. Now it's called Thera, and creating the new version on Source 2 started from absolute zero. FM Pwn didn't import a single texture or model from the original version for CSGO. Over 200 models were created for the remake, with high poly and low poly versions. Right now he's focused on getting feedback from users and refining all gameplay aspects of the map. And his only goal is to officially add the map to the game and get it into the active competitive pool. However, if you didn't know, FM Pwn is the creator of the much loved map Cache, and I didn't miss the opportunity to find out all the most interesting things about the current development of the remake.
That's him, right?
For Counter-Strike 2. First and foremost, Cache will be remade based on the same philosophy as Thera. The map will be created from absolute zero with no textures or models imported from CSGO. Secondly, to the delight of a huge part of the community, the map will be developed based on the original version in CSGO from 2013. That means the best combination of a gloomy Chernobyl industrial zone with the distinctive style of the new Counter-Strike and the use of all advanced technologies and improved graphics of Source 2.
Oh, wow.
Nevertheless, FM Pwn doesn't deny that he likes some elements of the second remake of Cache from 2019, and maybe he'll take some stylistic decisions from there. Right now the map is in the early stages of development and FM Pwn is focused on working on the location in the middle. He wants to achieve the effect so that people look at the screenshots and say, yep, that looks like Cache, and wow, it looks good. He estimates that the remake of Cache will require about the same.
Is this a screenshot of like what he's working on or not? That's CS2.
it looks good.
Damn.
He estimates that the remake of Cache will require about the same amount of custom models
Concept?
and materials as Thera, as if he makes more, the map will exceed the 2 GB limit of the workshop. In the last video I talked about the leak of the official remake of Cobblestone in a winter style, and it would be cool to mention a remade Wingman map called Ravine by JD40, Quadratic and Quotin. The action takes place somewhere in a snow-covered castle in the mountains, and the main goal of the T-side is to blow up boxes in the middle of the day. In my opinion, the map looks impressive, and the Counter-Strike developers should definitely take a look and perhaps get a little inspiration from this project.
I love that.
And while we wait for the new case, which should be released very soon, we need to discuss a very unusual precedent. Valve lost a lawsuit against a user who spent over 14,000 euros on opening
The Austrian lawsuit. Aware.
in cases over several years. An Austrian court found Valve's game loot boxes illegal in the country, as a result of which they should not have provided their services to users from Austria. Previously, Valve had already faced similar restrictions adding an X-ray scanner to the French client, and it should be noted that Valve disputed similar lawsuits in the United States. So it's quite possible that this will not affect the game's monetization in the future. Leave a snowflake emoji.
But it may mean banned in Austria, and isn't it? What?
But we've got a bomb down, and we've got 10 players up, and we've got Cloud9 grouping up inside of the CT spawn looking for the retake. So here comes
Leave
Nikadov.
Grab
Just
Follow,
before
follow.
the new year, the developer
4 players
now,
pushed into him. That
especially
grenade is
considering that in
immense.
early January we
Success.
saw the
3
first
frags
results
off
of
the